Greetings, user. Neural link established. Ready for takeoff.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the OS World Cup 2020. The semi-finals weekend is continuing now with, I believe, the final match of the weekend. And it's a big one. It's one that seems to happen every year against all odds, but it's a massive matchup between South Korea and Brazil. These two just keep drawing themselves in this tournament at this stage. It no word of a lie. The last 3 years they have met, and the matchups have been varied and very different. I am Doomsday, and I'll be joined very soon by the lovely Bubble Man. He'll be in a moment. He's sorting out some things, but in the meantime, while he's getting sorted, South Korea and Brazil are going to be getting themselves sorted in just a moment. South Korea have a much different roster than what they had the last year, but they've proved that they have the mettle. After having an early wobble against Ukraine, they've definitely improved since then and have put together some very solid results. They are in the losers bracket now, but they've had some good results against some strong opposition. They had a very close matchup against Germany, which they did drop to get to this stage. But that one could have gone either way, and no one really wants to face Korea in their current form. You can say the same for Brazil, though, because Brazil have been on pretty superb form themselves. Looking very, very scary. They did bump into the United States, and they took a couple maps off them, but it wasn't to be then. Brazil did drop in that matchup. But it seems to be destiny, because this is the 4th consecutive semi-finals matchup between these two teams. I believe at this very stage, I believe they were all in the second round of losers bracket. These two have already played a match this weekend. So these two know each other very, very well, no doubt. The new Korean players, though, are going to be facing against Brazil for the first time. So we'll see how that goes. And here we go. We are now joined by my lovely co-caster. What's going on, Bubble?
Hello. Right.
Hello, hello.
Hello. I apologize for my lateness. I was being collared by Force to get some map pool replays.
I mean, while you're available, you got to make use of the Bubble replays. They're worth the weight in gold, really.
I'm really upset because I was on an SS run of one of the maps and I choked the ending and I have no time to retry it. Oh well. Whatever.
You get a whole finals run of SSs.
I could do that. I could do that.
No, that's the quality we get. If it's not SSs, we don't use it. Anyways, yeah, Korea versus Brazil. What are you thinking about this one? This is a titanic match.
First, let me say I'm a little bit upset at this matchup because every year, almost without fail, pretty much, we've had South Korea versus Taiwan. And Brazil have beat Taiwan.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have a little bit of a bias against Brazil for not letting us see that one.
That's
but
like
for
the
real,
El Clasico.
It really is.
South
The
Korea
yearly South Korea Taiwan match.
But mate, actually, I was looking into that because, to be honest, I had like a similar thought where, yes, Korea versus Taiwan is like Real Madrid and Barcelona, right? But these two, this is the 4th consecutive semi-finals appearance between these two in a row.
That's interesting too.
At this stage,
actually.
When I was like doing my research for this match, like I knew they'd faced many times in the past, but I didn't realize the consistency of the timing and the exact stage. And the variance in scores. It's crazy, actually.
Oh, well.
It's destiny.
Yeah, it might just be. Well, I suppose either one of the two matches, it would be destiny. No, in all honesty, I am definitely looking forward to this. We got Mouse Easy, Mistia, Nissan on one side. We've got Karina. We've got Flying Tuna. We've got Ponytail. You know, these players have definitely proven that they are worth their weight. They are ample additions to the team. For like all 8 of them, you could name any player and you could probably pick out a carry performance from one of them on any map.
They've really split the workload, and considering the new names in the roster, they've accounted themselves very well.
Oh yeah. Got the bans out though. Hard Rock 1 from Brazil.
Yeah,
expected maybe?
Mechanics. I guess I'd say so, because the Korea have a very strong 4-man roster for the No Mod 1, Hard Rock 1 sort of style. I'm not sure Brazil really trusts that, and I don't blame them, but the No Mod 2 ban is also pretty expected from Korea. Brazil, like, absolutely stomped on the stream maps in previous weeks.
It will stick in my memory that Mouse Easy got that SS on such a hard-to-act map. Yeah, it was round of 16. That was an incredible SS.
It's insane. I think it was the only one of the round. Was there another SS?
Yeah,
that
there
round?
wasn't another SS that round, I don't think.
No Epica this time around, though. That's going to be the second ban from Korea. More speed getting banned, and against Brazil, that does make sense as well. They have a strong roster for those burst stream sort of maps. Then again, so do Korea. But...
And then that last ban. I am sad we don't get to see this.
Oh.
Ruin of Opals is gone.
It's in it in some of the earlier matches, but it seems to have dropped off because, well, it's so volatile. It's a B rank map, that is. Really nasty, rhythm-heavy map, but I'm not seeing it here. I imagine they don't want to see Karuna or Tuna carry on that, because that is a one-man carry map.
I do like that. The Tuna-Runa duo. It's like Brazil had Mistia and Mistia.
Yep. Well, they do. Just rename now. But Nissan, who was formerly Mistia, teamed up with, well, Mistia. Casting that's always a jam. Mistia and Mistia. But yeah, they are still on the same team. Yeah, Karuna and Flying Tuna. Karuna, Runa. It's a dynamic duo.
Runa, Tuna. Tuna, Runa. Yeah, I think with a Mistia and Mistia, I think you have to really, really listen hard to the emphasis. Because Mistia is the I, the beginning. It's Mistia. Or maybe I'm reading too far into it.
I mean, you could just go whole hog with it and have Mistia and Moistia.
Oh no.
Glad no one caught on to that one before they
Oh dear me.
Anyways, yo, first map is low AR. I'm a fan of this.
Over the limit, 5.9 stars. It's AR 8.5, so it's higher than historically.
Yeah, not necessarily the traditional AR rate. Higher AR, but it's still low, and it makes up for it in tricky patterning and dense reading in terms of the actual mapping itself. It's a modern map with lots of SV changes and weird spacing things going on, so IO Exception does that.
Yeah, you see IO Exception or Dead Code, and you can kind of tell the content of the map if it's below AR9, or even sometimes if it's AR9. Three minutes in length too, so they're going to have to sit through this one. Really have their wits about them. This is a Brazil pick, interestingly. Something that I think Korea have done well on in the past is AR8s. They have Karina, who, I mean, last year he showed up really well on the late stage AR8s.
Yeah, they definitely are capable on this sort of thing. Brazil certainly are as well when they have the likes of Mistia and Mistia, Nissan and Mistia. Also Dada as well, drafted into the roster as one of their main players for this sort of thing. And they have done very well on it as well. Like, they do have a good 4-man roster, so they must be confident if this is their first map with the lineup they have. See Nope KJK come in for this one. A player that comes in a lot for the reading maps for South Korea this year, one of their new additions. supported by 3 of their veterans, Karuna, Ponytail, and Flying Tuna. A perfectly capable roster.
I've always been impressed at Ponytail's consistency, considering he doesn't play any community tournaments very often.
Not too many. I mean, the odd one here and there. I've seen him around, but yeah, it's mostly sort of comes out of the national tournaments for Korea, I suppose, and the national community. So it's always a bit surprising when he pops up and always does so well. It's quite cool, actually. Some of the national communities where at OWC, these players that you may not have seen so much in international stuff really show up here. It's really cool to see every year.
But it will be Karina finding a miss. Ponytail, Flying Tuna have also dropped their combos early on. As you said, Nope KJK coming in, doing what he does. The linchpin for Korea on the reading heavy. Low AR stuff. Nissan finds a miss, as does Dada, but Nope KJK and Ponytail both trade it.
Those SVs claiming a few players. Those SV changes are deceptive. Early signs do say that this was a good pick by Brazil, though, showing definite level of comfort over Korea in the early stages. Look at the accuracies that Brazil have.
Look at the lead so far. We're a third of the map in. It's only been a minute, and there's already a lead of 300,000 points. That's equivalent to some leads that you would see at the end of maps. Dada finds a break. There's a 200 combo down for Brazil, but Ponytail having a little bit of trouble with this. Oh. You can always tell when a player's frustrated about their misses. They wiggle the cursor around, and it's universal. The universal sign of, oh, I messed up. Not happy. There goes Nissan's 300 combo. Flying Tuna and Nope KJK building theirs. However, it's just not going to be... It's not going to hold a candle to 2 FCs on the other side.
Yeah, there's really nice stuff coming from Brazil right now. 2 FCs at this stage. Looking like a really good team score if they can hold a little bit more. Yeah, the level of comfort is clear to see. Good first pick, actually. Well done on the opening gambit here for Brazil. Really catching Korea cold a little bit. They are recovering though, but yeah, the early stages, they had a bunch of misses early on. It really stung them.
The FC is down from Mistia. It's too late for any combos to really change this. You can see the lead shrink slightly, but... Oh, Tusk breaks the ending jumps. But yeah, we'll count that. We've been nice this round, I think.
Yeah, we've missed 10 combo from the end. We just gloss over that. We just brush that under the table. That's still a really good score.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Very nicely done there by Tusk. Nice recoveries though from Nope KJK and Flying Tuna there, but just too late, man. Caught napping at the start of this game, and Brazil take that point. Good start for them.
You can see the difference accuracy makes in Score v1 when you compare Nope and Tuna's scores. Tuna has 97%. Is about 140 combo down on Nope, but his score actually beats it. So, hold your accuracies, folks.
Accuracy is important. It really is.
And a point goes on the board to Brazil.
That's their pick though, so Korea now have an opportunity to do the same here, initiate their game plan. Oh, and this is going to be the No Mod 3, and I think this is a pretty decent pick by Korea. They did really well on this when they played this yesterday, so sticking to what they know in terms of strength. I believe Flying Tuna got a near full combo on this. which on this sort of map has generally been enough to carry your team. We haven't seen massive combos on this. 500k, 600k being the general highest average. So single man carry is going to be quite good on this. Brazil also played this. They actually played this and lost it in a fairly close matchup, but score-wise, I imagine Korea looked at that and realised that this would be a good opportunity, but only if they can recreate it. This map is quite volatile with its tricky alternate spacing.
It's very easy to just blink and miss, especially in such a consistently difficult map. It's 6.3 stars, but it's 6.3 stars of tech, and it's tech all the way through.
It never slows down with its patterning. Even in the slow parts, the rhythms are generally off standard, like 1-4 taps. They're usually quite tricky, and on Score V2, that can trip you up in terms of 100s or missed slider ends and things, even on slow parts. I do think Brazil can improve the score that they had, and I imagine that they know that too. But if Korea are that confident on this, they can do another really good run like they did last time. Maybe they can play the coin flip game and hope Brazil choke this again. Check out the rosters though. So
yeah, we see Louise in.
Yeah, that's interesting because that's a swap from yesterday. Dada played this, but Louise swapping in for him instead. I guess Dada not feeling this again. As for South Korea, looks like they are going to be sticking with the... No, it's not the same lineup. They're swapping Ponytail as well. Ponytail swaps in for Nelly Toru. So both players changing their rosters a little bit from last game.
Yeah, just a little bit of a switch up. Try and get those average score up a little bit. Maybe someone more confident, maybe someone not confident based on how they played yesterday.
I imagine so. The players that got swapped out bottom scored for their respective teams, so I guess they want to try something different. Always a risk though, because that player spent a lot of time practicing the map, and you know, if someone else comes in, the last thing they'd want is to drop it a little bit more. But of course, Louise and Nelly Toru have done well so far. I doubt that'll phase them too much. Well, the smoke though from Louise, that's not looking good.
He's not happy. He's missed a couple of times in the intro. You can't tilt that early.
No, it means nothing at this stage. Not on a map like this that barely gets any FCs, if any at all. It's not over yet.
You need all the score you can get. You need to focus on the map.
He really does. He needs to stop smoking.
Not gonna help.
Still quite close though. 2 FCs against 1, so Brazil's still in a very nice spot here as the map slows down a little bit. It's on Flying Tuna again here for South Korea. Can he do it again? 800k on the last play. Oh, those sliders, nasty part here. Mousy Easy loses his FC. It's 1 FC to 1. It's still advantage Brazil though, thanks to Tusk recovering, and Louis also recovering. Despite his smoke, he's recovering combo.
Maybe he's bound his smoke key to his tapping key and he's just...
Yeah, I think that's what he's done. He's giving us a nice art piece, I think. Call it the Ruruchi method.
No, you can't say that's the Ruruchi method. The Ruruchi method's missing the last note on purpose, right?
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Okay, well, who knows?
I suppose there can be more than one Ruruchi method.
If you FC the map and then miss the last note with smoke on, that's just the extra move. Solo coming in, one of the harder parts of the map, and everyone, a lot of their combos doing extremely well. Both of the FCs, FC that Solo, that is mightily impressive. Brazil still with the lead in tow.
Man, look, there's 2 FCs still on the board so late into the map.
That's going to be the job done for Brazil. Breakpoint. It's an excellent FC by Flying Tuna. He improves his score, but this time, though, it will not work. Brazil fighting back, and Misty as well with an FC of his own, as well as his team really backing him up well. Tusk and Mouse Easy. Louise recovering. Nice done.
Yeah, those are some good team scores. %95% on this is impressive to hold as an FC.
It's nasty, especially with the higher OD and all these rhythms going on. That is a very solid score. I don't recall what Machine's accuracy was when he FC'd this yesterday. I don't think it was far off that. Very nicely done. Next point will go to Brazil. Or next pick will go to Brazil. And they are opening this matchup exactly how they would have dreamed it would. This match goes any closer though than the last one they had. I don't even know. Brazil after facing Taiwan going to tiebreaker. They've already been there in the closest matches this week.
Yeah,
they won't win it again.
I don't know, I think that might have even prepared them for it if it does happen. You know, they've won 1 tiebreaker. Maybe this time they'll be less nervous, higher combos, you know. Whereas South Korea would just be play the tiebreaker once and then that's it. That's the only chance they get.
If it goes that far, yeah, if it goes all the way to tiebreaker, then yeah, Brazil would have the upper hand, you'd feel, just off preparation alone. At the moment, though, pushing forward to avoid that with some Pay an Alien free mod. Now this is a weird map. This is an awkward map in free mod. Low approach rate, smaller circle size, and very strange rhythms, very strange tap rhythms that are hard to accuracy, even on OD8. Taking a look, I believe that... Did Brazil play this yesterday? I think they did. Yes, they did. And they had a solid 3 million team score with 2 full combos, so going into this with some confidence, knowing they've already done well on it once. South Korea, though, actually had a better team score when they played this yesterday, so it's an interesting pick. I wonder if they've scattered that out, or they're banking on the fact that that was just a really good run from South Korea. Of course, in this instance, you can't expect the same scores many times in a row. But both these teams had very good team scores on this, so it's kind of a brave pick.
It is. Yeah, I don't know about that. You can almost expect the same scores from certain players, like Flying Tuna improving his score from last time on that last map. So there is, of course, the possibility that both teams will get pretty much exactly the same scores. I mean, even people switching in and out might not even shake that.
Any new players coming in for this one in comparison to last round, though, pretty brave. I feel like both teams, all 4 players, would have probably had a realistic chance of FCing this, looking at the miscounts. The miscounts were very low on the non-FCs for both teams yesterday, so... And, well, it looks like Brazil are sticking with the same lineup from yesterday as are South Korea, so exactly the same teams. Not too surprising to see that, so...
Yeah, how many times do you think it's going to be that we see the same map for both teams and the same... the same rosters?
I was surprised when we saw swaps in the earlier maps for like the repeating maps. It is rare to see. Usually when you already have it fully prepped, you don't usually change too much, but I do expect a lot of these repeating maps to see the same rosters. The thing is though, both these teams have very versatile players that might just be feeling certain things on the day. I imagine that's what it was earlier, alongside players not feeling it because it was the lower scoring players that swapped.
Yeah, we've got the same mods coming out on the players as well. Nelitoru on Hidden and Karina on Hard Rock. Same with Tusk Hidden, Karin Maluko on Hard Rock. The other two sitting safe on no mod, and Tusk finds an early miss.
Yeah, no overmodding on this one. It's something you can see on this one because of the low approach rate, but not here.
Yeah, everyone has the reading required to be able to comprehend and play this map pretty comfortably, I'd assume. And it's the modded players that seem to be struggling a little bit. Tusk and Karim Maliko finding misses here and there. Nelitoru as well with the hidden for Korea finds his first miss.
Yeah, Brazil losing 3 of their full combos in that section as the map winds down now. 3 FCs to 1, and looking good for Korea as the map will start to wind down in just a moment. And there it is. It's just the low AR hidden Nelitoru with the break. Rest of the team holding well for South Korea. Oh, looking like this one might backfire a little bit. The combos are recovering, but there's a lot of combo on the board for Korea.
Brazil definitely were up against it when they picked this. This was in South Korea's favor, but perhaps going off the thought that they beat a map that was in South Korea's favor anyway, they went for this. Yeah, definitely backfiring. No finds a miss. Nelitoru also. Combos are there for Brazil. To another slower section.
Yeah, with a third of the map to go, there might be a window if Karuna breaks, which he does. Okay, now that really is looking like anyone's match at this point. There's a slow pot here as well for even more relatively free score. This might just flick over, you know.
I think it might. I think it's almost certain to near the ending. We've got a quarter of the map left to go, so there's loads of time for it to happen. These stutter streams could throw people off on Hard Rock or Hidden. Nelitoru finding a load of hundreds, holding combo through the section, however, everyone holds. Does break directly after. Look at the lead now, look at the gap. It's almost reversed from where it was before. Karim Maliko finds a miss, Tusk also, but his combo wasn't as vital. And Tunis dropped his FC.
That's all she wrote, that is. Great recovery. Great recovery from Brazil. After those early misses, they really got their feet on the ground and went through the gears there. Nice FC by Nissan, holding it together. And oh, look at that. It's a 3-0 for Brazil in the early game. Korea rocked a little bit.
Yeah, they're definitely on the ropes. Looking at the team scores from last time, it's 3 million points for both of these teams that they scored. So, compared to their match yesterday, this is an underperformance for both of them.
On the day, though, it's enough for Brazil.
It is indeed.
It's so volatile, though. This sort of map, it's you have your specialists that are going to be fine on this, but as a team, it's a hard one to get consistent scores on, just because the way the patterns are, it's just not. It's not conducive to consistent gameplay, really.
Yeah, we can go in and hyper-analyze that and try and look at the players and how they played and whether the cursor was shaky, but I mean, this map's just hard. Every map in the pool is just hard.
Yeah, when you get into these weirder picks, it tends to be a case of, you know, you could have any of 5 variations on your score, as opposed to something, say, maybe like No Mod 2 or No Mod 1, where you may expect a sort of consistent performance, right? Or possibly something like this. DT2, speedy streams. A team like Korea might look at this as a relatively safe pick if they have the roster for it. And they have had some very good DT rules this year.
We've seen Ponytail, Karina, and Tuna are here. Zayson jumps into the room, and that completes their roster pretty much for something like this. It's going to be interesting to see whether Brazil can step up from last time.
So I don't think Korea played this in the last match. Not this particular map anyway. Brazil did though. Brazil actually had a 2.2 million on this. So I imagine Korea look at that as a vulnerable score.
And with a DT roster like Korea have, that's a very vulnerable score.
Yeah, well, I mean, they played the Epica DT map, which was of course banned. And the Korean team got over 3 million on that. So in terms of this week, they've already put some decent scores on the board. This is a very... You know what, it's not a very different map, but it is a different map. This is focused on slower BPM, but longer stamina streams. But I feel like the lineup still will be repeated for a map like this in most of its entirety.
Most, but not all. We're seeing Sanjalift come in instead of Mouse Easy.
It's always interesting when Mouse Easy swaps out. One of their most versatile players, as of course we all know, but when it comes to the speed, specialists all the way through the roster for Brazil instead of him. It does make sense. Sanjalift is very good on this sort of thing. Probably even more so than Mouse Easy would be. It's an important point, this, for South Korea. If they lose this, they give the next pick to Brazil. And the way they've been picking, they've been doing well at shutting down Korea at this point. So Korea really do need to take this one, otherwise they got a lot of work to do to get back into this game. That said though, there's a lot of speed on the board. If this works really well for South Korea, they have quite a bit of ammunition to work with, you'd feel.
Yeah, definitely. This map pool very favourable to teams that have speed. Because you've got maps like No Mod 5, DT1, DT3. Of course, DT3's banned here, but...
Here come the streams now. This really does feel like one of those old AR8 DT maps that people would just grind for like the old TP stuff. With so much speed.
Yeah, I could imagine with this. The streams are so long. There's also not too much of an aim requirement to these streams either.
Ooh, that break from Ponytail right at the tail end of that stream.
Now
Last
this,
note.
if you're Korea, now this has to be scary. You've got 2 FCs left on the board. Tuna's broke 100 in or so. Oh, but Mistia directly after the break trades his combo.
That's rough, because yeah, that was a big advantage for South Korea, but
That was a massive
unfortunately,
advantage.
yeah.
They fumble it. Nissan as well with a miss. I was hesitant to comment on that. Zaysen has now dropped. That's why I was hesitant to comment on it. Nissan didn't miss.
Yeah, a bit of lag there. It happens. I think we're all settled now. Slower part here with a bit more of an aim requirement, but not really. It's just slower part. Accuracy is very comparable.
Brazil
Slightly in favour of South Korea.
a third till the ending, and of course, with score v2, score ramps up incredibly quickly towards the end of the map. They've already surpassed their score from yesterday. And Korea faltering.
Yeah, they had a bit of a whiff. They're not too far away though. This is just looking like a really good team score from Brazil. You really cannot knock Korea in this instance. This is just an absolute clinic here by the Brazilians. Goodness
Another miss
me.
from Zaysen. They did have a slight advantage. It was going to slowly go back to the Koreans, but look at a three-way FC on this. And you look at their scores from yesterday, what can you do? This, on paper, was an incredible pick for South Korea. If Brazil repeated their performance from yesterday, they would have been winning by 1.2 million points. So, for them, yeah, for them to step that, almost double their score from yesterday, that is astounding, truly.
Yeah, incredible turnaround. Maybe the last one was just a whiff. South Korea misread it possibly. I mean, we know Brazil have such a good DT roster. But yeah, you look at that score and yeah, you'd think that that means there's some issues on this map for the Brazilian team, but nope. That did not work out at all. It's 4-0 to Brazil. What a start for Brazil here. It's
They're
their
right
pick
out
as
of the
well.
gates. They're right out of the gates. And they jumped over the tripwire that was in front of the starting gate. Brazil are just so secure now, and it's their pick. They could put a point on the board and be at match point. And Korea have so much work to do now. They have to take a step back, they have to clear their heads. You're looking at a team that maybe you thought you could beat relatively easily. Now you're 4-0 down against them.
Yeah, it's... I mean, sure, there's been a couple of little chokes and comebacks that have led to Brazil taking points, but you gotta say, Brazil have just been playing extremely well. South Korea have certainly not been dropping this one. Brazil have just been showing up and not showing any fear. Now, they've been going for a lot of reading picks. They went for both the low ARs in their first pick, but now they have to swap because there is no more left. But it's free mod once again by Brazil.
I'm so happy to hear this get met.
Yes. I mean, there's like another version of this that's a ranked map, right? This is like an alternate version. I always preferred this one to the other one, though. Just personal taste.
I think it's a different song entirely.
It is. It's like... It's similar. I think it's like... It's a remix of the same song, but it's like an alternate version. Because the other one, it's the decisive battle with the fugitives, right? That's what it's called.
It is, yeah. I don't know which one came first.
And neither do I, to be fair.
Because these are both songs from Final Fantasy VI. I think. I don't know. I might be wrong there, but
One thing I do know is it's a Jonesan map, and that usually means the same thing. Awkward aim. A lot of it. That's what he's known for in terms of tournament mapping and tournament maps that you see him. You see him a lot appear in like tournament pools because of the awkward aim his maps bring. This is high BPM as well. It's a high BPM awkward aim.
this is one we saw yesterday from the Brazilian side. We didn't see it from Korea. But Brazil performed pretty well on this. They got around 2.8 million points as a team.
Two FCs. I'd say that's pretty good going on this. This has seen a lot of chokes. The two FCs is a very good run, so this is a good pick based on previous performance. Totally makes sense.
Indeed, and the accuracies, they were both at the no mod FCs. It was Mouse Easy and Nissan that took the no mod, and 2 100s and 7 100s on this with no mod. Not easy to act this at all.
Nope, not at all. We are seeing a swap, though, on the Brazilian side from that previous one. Dada swapped out, who doesn't seem to be playing many of the maps late on, allowing his team to take the spot. Dada was replaced with Korean Maluko for this one.
But not a direct mod replacement. Korea Maluko takes Hard Rock, whereas Misty swaps for the Hidden. Interesting to see a mod swap on a player from yesterday.
Yeah, passing the mod over to Misty, though, it's a pretty safe pair of hands when it comes to Hidden. You shouldn't have too many problems dealing with this, but there is a bit of a consistency penalty, maybe, forcing one of the most consistent players onto a mod like that. The harder mod, in my opinion, on this map, being Hidden.
But someone has to tank it. Someone has to take that career at the consistency nerf even?
At the moment, the awkward aim has been working pretty well for Brazil, but with this one being less intensive in terms of awkwardness than the last two, this might suit Korea a bit better. Mods seem to be put onto Nilotoro and Karuna. Flying Tuning taking the no mod for a potential high combo.
But that is a double miss. One Hard Rock, one no mod down, and Tuna follows it up. There's no mod FCs left for South Korea. Hard Rock is down for Korea Maluko. But they're still sitting strong with their 3 FCs on their side.
Relying on that hidden FC from Nilotoro. Really, really good stuff so far for Brazil. There's a solo coming up that's one of the harder parts of this map, of course, but there's a lot of drops that need to happen and a lot of combos that need to hold for Korea. It's going to need a big flip.
Yeah, yet again, we're not even a third, not even 2/3 of the way through, and this advantage at the moment is comparable to a lot of score lines, and it's only growing. It's 400k, 450k, they're only accelerating. Karina and Ponytail continue to find misses, as does Korean Maluko on the Hard Rock.
The FCs are all holding for Brazil, though. It's not the big combos. Gosh, this is actually incredible from Brazil. Nilotoro's doing everything he can on their hidden, but it's just not enough. This is just not enough for Korea.
And that's seriously impressive performance on Hidden, from both of the Hidden players, actually.
Yeah, I mean, why we're dropping down for Nilotoro, but holding combo like an absolute champ. Channeling Aristia there. They may not have Aristia on the team, but Nilotoro doing what he can. But wow, this is a big performance improvement from Brazil. They played well to take out Taiwan last time, but they're doing even better here.
My God.
This is an absolute show.
Were they just not showing their hand yesterday or something?
Surely you wouldn't take Taiwan lightly, would you?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you take the gamble. In any case, Korea on the ropes. They're taking a timeout. Of course, a little thing you can do is use a little timeout. Take a step back, take a breather, clear your heads, have a discussion about what needs to happen.
They
You're allowed
really
2
do
minutes
need
for
it.
that. Yeah.
They're punch drunk at the moment in Korea. It just hasn't happened for them so far. I mean, yeah, that was a great score by Brazil, but to be fair, I'd expect a little bit better from Korea on that map in particular. They definitely should take a couple minutes to get a breather, because they have a pick, and they potentially have 3 picks against Brazil's 2 going forward.
They do.
But that is a mountain. That's Everest, that is. Brazil are absolutely storming this, and they're playing so well. How do you shake that off? Well, I guess we can start by peeking at the pool and what's left, and everything appears to be dug into so far, with the exception of Hard Rock. I don't think we've seen Hard Rock 3 yet. Has that been played so far? Or have I just missed the game that was in? Chat Purdue. It was actually a cool map.
Hard Rock 3, I think it has been played.
Oh, has it? I must have missed that then.
No, has it? Maybe I'm looking at Periquitus and thinking of No Mod 4. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, because No More 4's been played. Although I feel like Hard Rock is a bit of a scary one. Brazil did ban it though, which does say something.
Yeah,
But
if
South Korea have not
South
taken
Korea
the bait.
has a strength, I think it might be Hard Rock. They've got Karina, they've got Tuna, they've got Rutel, who is a new addition to their team. Been hearing a lot about him, and they've got Ponytail, of course.
I mean, as we've mentioned, Korea have had some good scores in the earlier games, just getting stomped down by a Brazil team performing very well. But with everything dug into at this point, and Brazil looking stronger what we've seen so far, perhaps their full Hard Rock roster might be something to try and rattle the cage a little bit. We did see Korean Maluka coming in with the Hard Rock. He did alright, but he definitely, the other mod players did have a more comfortable time. So I guess we'll see if that's what they go for. I mean, Hard Rock 2 is a pretty standard one that does benefit Korea pretty well. They did well on this yesterday against Russia. But there's also something like No Mod 1, which is also somewhat Hard Rock 1-like in the sense that it's a mechanics aim map. Oh, there we go.
Go for No Mod 1.
The No Mod modification 1.
I don't think this was something we saw from either team yesterday. This might just be a default to comfort pick.
Yeah, a bit of a reset. Get people back in the game.
And they sorely need it.
And South Korea definitely have the No Mod 1 roster to strike fear. They are very good at this sort of thing. I recall last year they had some pretty crazy scores on these. And certainly so far this tournament they've been very good on mechanics heavy things. Although, you know, they have missed a few players which came in for those No Mod 1s. Or at least they're missing Aristia for that. But they still have Karuna and Flying Tune. They still have Karuna, Ruben. Did Brazil play this though?
They did not. So there's nothing to really go off for this pick. This is solely just for comfort. It has to be just solely for comfort. Because you know, you've got Tuna, you've got Karuna. They are some of the most consistent aim, almost generic map players in the game. You put these two on a map like this, and you can kind of expect an FC from them.
The thing with Brazil, though, in this situation is, you know, they're 5 points up. They can afford to take a breather. They can afford to just chill a little bit. Not too much, obviously, but Brazil know that if they drop this, they're still in a great spot, because they have the next pick in tow. This is the sort of map where nerves can come into the fore, but I'd be surprised if Brazil really suffer from nerves in this situation. And their 4-man roster for this sort of thing is no slouch either, bringing in Mouse Easy for this one. Nissan as well, who's been holding combo like a champ since, God, years in this tournament. Karien Muluka as well, one of their key hard rock players coming in for mechanics. And Tusk as well, definitely been impressing on these sort of maps in community tournaments.
Yeah,
Let's see
such an impressive addition to their team. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Try and juggle the client around a little.
He hasn't fallen into the slot. We gotta tilt it like, you know, like pinball. Slot Karien Muluka back into the slot 3. We'll see if there's a disconnection, there'll be an abort. We'll see from the ref. Oh, looks like there is going to be an abort. So.
Yeah, there's a abort for Korean Maliko.
It happens. Round 2, full start.
It happens. Can't avoid it, but if you're Korea, you just cannot let this impact you.
Yeah, they really can't. They seem to be getting a little bit antsy on delays. They need to try and keep their head in the game.
Brazil have been using their full 2 minutes to get ready.
Match point for Brazil. 1 point away from entering the finals weekend. And one of the craziest sweeps, but only if Korea drop the ball here on their own. No mod 1 pick. Wouldn't count them out yet, though. Not even close. This is their home ground.
Fortunately, that abort not affecting anyone's opening combos. Flying Tuna being the first to break. Interesting miss from him. It's really not what you want. One of their most consistent players dropping the combo really early. And the gap between these teams starts to widen. We get out of the chorus. The jumps hit. Mouse Easy's the second drop. Korea now have a slight advantage coming into the next verse. The slower section of this map, it's not free combo by any means. Nelly Toro finds a miss.
Still Brazil looking good here. Map picks up again in difficulty though. In just a moment.
Little break, steady your nerves. Get into the next chorus. The jumps just do not slow down in this map. It's 6.9 stars, but it is 6.9 stars the entire way through. There's no difficulty spikes in this one. There's slight increases in difficulty, however. It's a map that you really could miss anywhere on. Slip
there by Toru.
It's an even bigger advantage now to Korea. There's 2 players, or to Brazil. There's 2 players that are 300 combo down on Korea. And we're looking at 3 FCs into the outro from Brazil. There's 2 still there in a very large combo for Korea, so if something goes wrong... But no, they collapse!
That's gonna be it, surely. That's it. That is it, Bubble. It's
They
all
absolutely
over.
collapse. It is. There's nothing Korea can do now. There's only 200,000 points left for Karina to get. And that is all she wrote. We follow a pattern, dudes. They trade wins.
They just keep trading. Keep it even.
Korea won in 2017, Brazil in 2018, and Korea again in 2019. It was Brazil's turn, and they do it in spectacular fashion.
This has destroyed everyone's pick'ems. Who put 6-0 Brazil?
Oh yeah, nobody would have gotten this.
That was absolutely incredible from Brazil. Humongous win. South Korea will drop. It's a great FC by Karuna. He has the top score in the room with 4 100s and a 50. Gotta shout him out for that. One of their absolute linchpins doing it again. But sadly, South Korea will go home at this level, and Brazil march on. Wow, what a weekend!
Yeah.
First, they take out Taiwan on an incredible tiebreaker, and then they take out South Korea in an absolute domineering fashion. You were mentioning about how South Korea versus Brazil is like Real Madrid versus Barcelona. What makes Brazil? They just took both of them out. Wow. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, you look at this team on paper, and this team has the potential. They're really living up to this potential they have. They're top 6 now. And they're not looking like they're going to slow down.
I think on the back of that, really, they think, well, they should be able to have the confidence to take on anyone. Of course, they've already faced the US so far, and they could very well face them again if they keep their levels up. But alas, that will be then. At the moment, Brazil can look forward to a showdown versus Japan in finals weekend. Japan versus Brazil.
That's going to be a good fight. Brazil bring what they brought this week. That one is going to be incredible. Don't miss it. Don't miss the entire weekend. We're getting to late stages now.
Yeah, just don't do it. Like I say, we have absolute titans left. Massive surprises, big upsets, big comebacks, big tiebreakers. But with the semi-finals weekend all wrapped up now, we are left with massive matches, which you can see there. First of all, Germany have a date with Australia to look forward to next weekend in the losers bracket. They did face the USA, and the USA did what USA do and won that one handily. But Germany will be looking for revenge against a team in form.
Now that is the match that I am most excited to watch.
It's two teams with a lot of pedigree, but Australia with so much new blood that have been storming the losers bracket. You
And
can
so
see the
much-
shot right there.
Yeah, and so much raw talent too. They have the latent ability to scale into grand finals weekend, 100%.
I feel like they're one of the teams that will scale the hardest, simply because of that raw talent. Like I say, they just have the names that maybe in the early game they do good, but you know that the strength lies on finals, grand finals pools, and it's going to be so exciting to finally see Australia get a chance to try the finals pool at this stage. But they got to get past Germany, and that's going to be no slouch. Germany, no doubt, they have a job on their hands against Australia, though. And also, of course, the winners bracket final is decided, which will be an all North American matchup. It's the United States versus Canada. And that one is going to be a fiery affair, no pun intended.
Oh, come on.
I didn't even mean that, I swear to God. But yeah, US versus Canada is going to be a matchup with, like I say, so many friendships, so many... I mean, the communities for the US and Canada are so intertwined. They're basically the same thing. So that matchup is going to have so much riding on it, irregardless of the whole tournament. That is a humongous matchup that's going to be unmissable. I cannot wait to watch that. But alas, that's what's to look forward to next weekend. It's been a fantastic weekend of matches, Bubble. Goodness me.
Yeah.
But
Well,
course,
that is, yeah, next weekend. For this weekend, though, I think that about calls it.
apart from
We have,
one thing, of course,
Yeah.
a bit later on. I'm not sure when. I think in about half an hour's time, I believe. But a bit later on, we are going to be showing off the maps for the finals of OWC 2020. We're getting some cool peeps in voice, showing you some cool maps and some very difficult maps.
Yeah,
that the
I've had-
players are going to be ready for.
I've had the opportunity to see some of the maps and to try and set some replays on them. And they are difficult, but they're also really, really good. I can't wait to show some of these to you. But that is
Stay
then,
tuned.
and this is now. Now I think we'll be going to a short break.
Yep, we'll see you guys in a little bit then for the OS World Cup 2020 Finals Map Pool Showcase. Thanks for watching the games, and we'll see you back here in a short while for that.
技術は小説よりも機内ですね。
Hello everybody and thank you for waiting. We're live with the last thing to do this weekend, which is the showcase. This time it's the finals pool showcase. My name is GeForce and today I'm joined by the wonderful Bubbleman. How are you?
Hello. I'm alright. I'm sure you could tell in the last cast. I'm a little bit tired. I didn't sleep very well last night, but I slept well enough to get some replays for you.
Alright, nice. Thank you for that. And also joining me is You know, you can't just have Ballman here alone. You gotta get the British duo, which is Doomsday. Hello, the Doomsday. How are you? He might actually be AFK for a second, so we'll get to him a little bit later. No worries. But for now, a lot of cool matches have been going on this entire weekend. A lot more tiebreakers, which surprised me a little bit, which is weird because usually you see tiebreakers in the same stages, but this year it like shifted by one. Probably might be due to the bracket.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know though. There was some pretty cool matches on this weekend. Where did the tiebreakers happen and which side of the bracket?
Oh yeah, funnily enough,
one was Brazil-Taiwan, right? And then the other was Indonesia. They're on different sides, I think.
Yeah. China, Indonesia was more of the right side of the bracket, and the other one were on the left side. But it was still interesting to see how what's it called? It was interesting to see the tiebreakers actually being played in different stages. But yeah, I think we actually have Doomsday joining right now. Hello, the Doomsday. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing good. I'm still in shock from the last match, honestly. That was ridiculous. Couldn't believe the result.
Yeah.
I had to run off, get myself a fresh drink.
Pretty spooky.
Nice. Alright, so I think enough gushing about the last few matches, because we've got plenty of matches to go for next week, and most of you guys are here for the Maple Showcase, so let's just get right into that, I believe.
And we've got maps to gush about, right?
Right. So we'll get into the Nomad 1, hopefully. There we go, that is Nomad 1, and it's gonna be your trusty Barky Mad Dog Nomad 1. Unsurprising here. You've liked him last year, he's back this year for his Nomad 1 prowess. I think they were one of the most popular Nomad 1s in the entire tournament, I think, and have been used in plenty of community tournaments. But here's another one you will probably see the following months or maybe even years in community tournaments. We don't really apologize because this is pretty fun, and this map is not different at all. It is 200 ppm, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and if you see Barky Mad Dog, you've got to have Buto Tome with that, right? And I mean, this is the jump map throughout the entire thing, and it is exactly what you expect. A lot of single tapping, a lot of big spacing, and very consistent in this difficulty. And it doesn't really stop there. And the jumps are as fun as you would expect from Barky Mad Dog.
He definitely has a way with putting circles on the map, on the, what's it called? Mapping play area? What would you call it in the editor?
Like actually it's a good question. We're not mappers.
The grid?
Yeah. I think that's a grid. Yeah, if you just look at the map, I mean, you've got a lot of jumps split into 3 KIs, and I mean, you're gonna have to move your cursor across the entire playfield here, go from corner to corner. Very comfortable jumps though. Like if you just look at the angles, they're very consistent and don't really change too much during the same jump pattern, which is gonna make this, I think, the most comfortable map in the entire pool.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
More focused on like this, like more spiky sections than the last one was. Like the slower sections are much slower, but the harder sections are much more difficult.
Yeah, you can really tell it picks up.
It is, compared to last week's Nomad 1, I think definitely more comfortable, but also lower in BPM, interestingly enough, right? But it is higher star rating, 7.14 is gonna be the star rating for jumps this time around. Yeah, I don't think we've seen Barky Mad Dog in finals yet. We have seen him in grand finals and in round 16 last year.
I was actually waiting for him to make an appearance. Where are the BMG maps coming in? Oh, there they are. I mean, with the BPM differences, I feel like the differences between, 208 and 200 on a map like this are negligible, honestly. It's not really about the speed difference. I guess that makes it slightly higher intensity on, like, the speed, I think, but it's negligible. The spacing increase makes it feel like can kind of compare it to like something like Messen, another map by him, but that was much higher BPM. This is more on the super wide spacing segment of things at 200. That map was a bit faster than this.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that if you go lower BPM, the jumps just need to be that much bigger for it to actually be proper difficulty. So, you know, this might actually feel decent amount harder from last week. But yeah, we're
Definitely
gonna
be harder in the spikes.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we're gonna get right into the number 2 replay, which is unsurprisingly a stream map mapped by Itsuki actually. So a custom map by one of the pullers. And this replay is by Blank Name. Would you like to introduce yourself, Blank Name?
My apologies, I was playing it offline.
Yeah, this is actually the one replay Bubble was getting when he was trying to get ready for the cars, and this is the reason why he came in a bit too late. So since you've been getting the replay, what can you tell us about this map?
It's very, very consistent in stream difficulty. There's... What you're seeing right now is basically what you're going to see the entire map. They're not standard by any means, they curve around. They almost look hand-placed. They don't have any real geometric structures to them, and that just means they're comfy. It's weird to say, because sometimes you see circle streams and stuff, you can kind of tell how a stream is going to progress, but with this sort of thing, you have to really be on your toes with reading it. There's the stamina, the death stream. A little section in the middle to test stamina.
That is a long stream. Yeah.
It is indeed.
This looks like
and then straight back into it.
I can see why the background was chosen. Definitely getting whiffs of like honesty, like sort of stream shape, I guess. But obviously it's a higher BPM. This is 200 BPM, a bit faster than honesty is.
Yeah, I believe Itsuki definitely had a lot of fun deciding on the difficulty in the background. But you know what's also fun? That's a fun fact for the day. If you assess this on Hard Rock, it is 727.27 pp.
Oh, come on.
It actually is.
Really? Oh my
yes.
God. My God, Itsuki.
That is a level of commitment I just was not prepared for, but you know, it is out there.
That is an intense stream map.
It's really tough. It's a consistent spacing too, so the stream will start at a spacing and then will increase a little bit, and then it'll go back to that spacing and then increase a little bit.
Yeah. But coming into the next map, it's gonna be the normal free map, which is the alternate map here, and it's gonna be when Natekedes, also known as Evil Elvis, also known as Johnson. And if you know him, I mean, you've seen his alternate maps, and they're this very distinct Russian style alternating, which is a lot more awkward than what you would expect from other mappers, like, for example, Lasse and last year's Grand Finals, which is a lot more stream heavy or like very flow heavy, while this one is just a mix of a bit of flow and just awkward like spacing variants and angle variants here. And this is gonna be a more awkward alternate map than the previous rounds, just to mix it up, because there's different mapping styles for alternate maps. But yeah, this one's 137 BPM on actually 274 if you double it. No, it doesn't really matter, but it is a little bit slower than last week. So the spacing might look a lot harder than it is, because it is quite low in terms of BPM.
It's in the range where we'll see more people single tapping it, but
it does look very single tappable.
Yeah, it definitely actually is.
Jeez.
I playtested this a lot by just single tapping it.
Interesting rhythms there as well. Follows the lyrics for a little.
It's rarity, actually. You see that less and less.
Works really well with this. I kind of feel like this is definitely a good example of an alt map. You touched on Lass being much more streamy than the technical in aim. I feel like the closer an alt map gets to being just linear flow, the closer it just gets to being streams, you know? So something like this where it breaks flow, it's almost more comfortable to single tap it.
Yeah, I can see that. There's plenty of different, I guess, ideas and just people mapping alternate. And if you could just go too linear aim or just too flowy with your aim, it's gonna steer map. And if you go too high angle, it's gonna be just a high BPM aim map. And this one's like definitely more on the aimy side with the high angles, but the spacing variance and stuff makes it a lot more awkward here.
There's a lot of angles. There's a lot of more flowing patterns as well, though. So it's got a really good mix. Looks like your aim's got to be on point for this in every aspect.
Oh yeah, definitely. I really like the longer sliders there. The highest slider velocity.
Can I ask why Matryoshka's in the background?
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Why?
Look, we were so close to actually getting through without anyone noticing.
Oh no, I noticed it immediately. I just thought talking about the
Okay.
map would be a little bit more important than talking about the background. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on, it's gonna be a tech map, and it's one of the first times to actually break this rule of having the same mapper twice, like 2 stages in a row on the same slot. Which is something we tried, like actually in every year, I think we kind of tried to prevent that, but it just wasn't possible. Yeah, it is for the greater good, which means the tech map is a tech map, and it's decently hard and fits the stage. And this one, I think it definitely does. It's Camellia. It's an hex code. It's a color. Look it up. Thank you. All right, I'm not here to read out numbers, but I am here to read out numbers. For example, it's 6.43 star rating, and it seals 4.5. So the circle size being 4.5 makes it a little bit small here, but I think it's mostly about the patterns here. The circle size really makes a difference for the slider velocity, which is definitely high. It's 180 BPM and focuses a lot of the 1/4, just streamy jumps here and the snaps, and has a lot of slider velocity changes you just need to follow properly. This is actually a unranked map, a huge map set by Real Lazy, and we were grasping for straws and just kind of used this, remove the vv8 sliders and call it a day essentially, because nothing else was really working out. So yeah, we've got this one going for you guys, and I hope you guys will enjoy this one.
I mean, getting real lazy on the tech map, yeah, no complaints with that. He always does a good job, in my opinion. This is looking really, it's looking like a very traditional sort of tech map at this level. With all of these cut streams and wobbly sliders shapes. Looks pretty traditional, but
Ooh, watch your accuracy on those slider streams.
Yeah, most of them have actually been removed. There were a lot more sliders. I think this entire party is full of 1/8 sliders, or maybe it's the one afterwards. We removed some of those, just replaced them with circles to make it fitting for tournament play. This is an ODC edited version, so you'll probably not see this one when it's getting ranked, because I think it's going for ranked.
accelerated stream ending as well.
You want to be really careful with these. Especially with sliders too, you can lose a lot of accuracy if you're just not following these sliders all the way through.
Yeah. Also, if you know this map, we actually removed the active 1/6 at the ending there. But yeah, so there's a bit of 100 you can get in the end.
It's definitely hard enough without the speed requirement on top of it.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Alright, but now we're getting right into the next map, which is going to be a speed map, and a map by Fergus, another custom map here. And
you got Fergus to map something for this?
Damn straight with it.
Yo!
We definitely did, and we also got who else than Red Pixel to actually play this one. It's Breakcore. I mean, it's the featured artist Goshin Xenobeat, and you know, we also have one of the Halloween backgrounds here. I mean, come on. Fergus went all out for us, I think. And he's done a phenomenal job here. This is a 237 BPM Breakcore map with just a lot of streams. It's consistently difficult, so many bursts constantly thrown at you, with a decent amount of aim requirement in this entire map. And as you can see, if you can play the BPM, apparently assessing is easy. I'm not sure. We'll see. Yeah. But otherwise, this map is very consistently difficult, and I think Fergus has done a great job here.
Red Pixel always makes these look easy. I don't think he counts. But yeah, I mean, whenever I see a map like this, I can't help but think of Grum, all these kick sliders and burst streams.
Yeah.
It's known for that almost as much now. Constant bursts at high speed. It's a bit slower than the last speed map we had, but it's a different focus. Much more on having to stop and start and all these bursts, as opposed to like more sort of, I guess, less gaps in the bursts that we had in the Mazarin map. This one's got so many kick sliders in between them.
Yeah, it's just active throughout the entire map and doesn't really stop here. Just kind of mesmerizing to see Red Pixel just casually assessing this.
I like how in the difficulty name there's SS.
that one,
Nice catch. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was actually not planned for this to be an SS replay, but I guess Red Pixel just went. I think he just saw the replay name and just went for it, I think.
As you would. It definitely looks like a map where if you can stream this BPM, and if you can burst the BPM pretty comfortably, it's not going to be too difficult to keep your accuracy high. But saying that, you really want to be on the lookout for the aim as well.
Alright, that was the normal 5 map. We're gonna go to the normal 6 map. Another replay by yours truly, Bubbleman. But it's actually not a blank
Well, this
name.
is not quite an SS.
It is not quite an SS, but it is. I mean, it's still a pretty good play because this one's the normal 6 rhythm map here, and it's Nivashi playing with Ruby, a custom map by Down. And this one is 180 BPM streams into 1/3 into 1/6, a mix of everything, and it just kind of goes hard there.
You say that, it's 1/3, 1/6 into 1/4. It doesn't change with a slider. It will change midstream. You'll notice it's changing from 1/4 to 1/6 near the middle. So you have to switch from tapping 180 BPM to tapping 270 BPM for a short while. And doing all that on OD 9.7, as well as taking into account the aim requirement that's involved, because, you know, all of these are cut doubles into sliders.
The OD actually is very high for a map like this. It's hard enough dealing with these patterns on a score v2 basis, but yeah, OD 9.7 is a huge accuracy test. We saw like a lot of low accuracies on the No Mod 6 this week, but this one isn't quite as nasty on the rhythm, but it makes up for it in just raw precision required on timing.
Yeah, a 9.7 is definitely quite high. I'm also a little bit puzzled here.
Wait, is that... Wait.
It's all to do with the note locking. 9.7 is going to be really forgiving. It's going to lower accuracies, but you're going to be seeing far less note locking than you would with something like 9.2 or even, 9.5. It's 180 BPM jump streams. So if you mistap any one of these, if you mess up the rhythm, you're going to be able to get back into it.
I hope for the combo game then. I think at this level though, a lot of the teams are going to be able to put forward at least 3 players that can do decently well on the combo on this. I suppose the high OD is going to help with that, right? But the accuracy is still going to be a factor in those situations.
Yeah, because after all, this is 1/4 into 1/6 and those type of patterns, so that's definitely going to be something you have to look out for.
You have to change the speed. Yeah, you have to change the speed you're tapping immediately. And if you can't do that midstream, then you're definitely going to be caught out by this. Very, very heavily.
This song is such a jammer though.
It's so
I'm seeing
good.
this for the first time and this is looking good.
Yeah,
This is my kind of map.
A jazzy piano vibe. Yeah, it's
Oh,
Pretty cool song. I would agree there. You know, I mean, it's pretty hard to, I think, overtake. I think what quarterfinals was really good with song choices. And we were trying, but it is really hard to top just having an entire round with just really good song choices all around.
I don't know, so far it's been pretty good.
to be fair, looking at some of those like double sections that came up a little bit earlier, I'm beginning to take my point back about people being able to combo this like 3 members. A lot of this I think people will, but like some of those standout sections in the middle of the map are going to catch a lot of people out actually, so looking at this again, I think the combo game is actually going to be quite valuable on this, let alone the OD. I think people will be fine until the middle stage in terms of like the 4-man rosters, and then we're going to start seeing people crumbling.
Yeah, if you know this song well, if you know the map well, the accuracy is not really going to be too much of an issue for you. Maybe on the switches from 1/4 to 1/6, but past that.
That's perfect, dude.
Great job, Mr. Buy Banners. Alright, let's get right into the next map. And it is Hidden One on our custom, but this one's looks a bit deceiving. It's by Devious Panda, but it is actually a collaboration between Devious Panda, Mao, and Selk. So it's a 3-way collab, and they've been alternating parts here. This one is the 194 BPM. A little bit awkward aim and stream focused Hidden One here. So if you've got the aim for the awkwardness, if you've got the focus on the 1/4 snaps here, and the stream snaps, and there's plenty of stream jumps as well, but it's mostly about the just the longer streams and just following them on Hidden, you know, on some of the later parts.
Getting a lot of Devious Panda maps appear this year in OWC. Good shout on that one. Does really well on these sorts of maps that are, you know, they have awkward skill sets as a theme.
Yeah, and I think Devious Panda is like probably one of the mappers who have gotten a lot of experience from courses and are just really reliable, and obviously having the time limitations we had for this year's OWC and just a bit of a lack of staff sometimes, well, a lack of manpower rather. It was really refreshing and helpful to see some of these mappers just step up and being able to deliver really quickly. At some of the earlier stages of maps you can see which Devious Panda was mapping early on, he just performs really well under pressure and delivers really quickly. This is why you see some mappers a bit more frequently than others.
I just want to shout out that they've got an experience from Corsace, but they'll also have got an experience from winning the Beat Mapping World Cup with Team UK.
I mean,
sorry, just
big up our boys,
just wanted,
you know what I mean?
just wanted to throw that one out, you know.
I mean, farming badges one at a time, right?
Look at the streams there.
Hidden streams.
Ooh,
Always a spooky
slow
one.
slider. Don't forget that exists.
I've seen that a few times this year so far. I wonder if anyone broke on that one slow slider that was on Ascension to Heaven. I don't think I saw one.
Also, a fun fact, this map has a lot of timing signature changes. So the rim of the map is a bit weird, in the sense that the white ticks just kind of reset. So when you expect like a beat to like stop, it suddenly starts off again, and it might throw people off guard, but if you just practice this a little bit, you should be fine, I would say.
Yeah, some of those repeats there. Very particular aim you have to follow. You really can't afford to be lazy on this ending.
I'm so jealous to everyone who gets to play these maps. Every one of these maps so far in the actual tournament.
I mean, to be fair, there's gonna be a bigger influx of maps for the community tournament scene. So if you keep on playing community tournaments, chances are you will see a lot of them.
That is true.
So if there's one thing that custom mapping has done, it's helped fill the gaps that we miss in community tournaments. So that's always cool.
Yeah, and there's a reason why we're filling the gaps in OWC, because there are gaps.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And we're going right into Hidden 2, another customer by Lasse. It is once again an approach with 8 hidden by Lasse. And as you would expect, it is the standard Lasse quality you would expect here. You have a lot of overlaps, you have a lot of just consistently difficult mapping here across the board. And this song itself lends to you to a bit of rhythm. Just a tiny bit, nothing too much, because the main focus is still like aim and reading and the density of the map, but still a little bit. So you can get a few more 100s or a few more 300s if you master those parts. There's like a few parts with like a 1/4 triple into 3 notes which are 1/3. But you cannot really miss it because the spacing is so low. So otherwise you've got these overlaps, you have to definitely read properly here. And otherwise I think Bobbleman has also playtested this one, so if you have anything else to chime in for.
There's so many perfect overlaps. As well as just the change in pace, you have to... It's almost like it makes you read in a small space and then moves across the playfield to start again.
Yeah, the overlaps in this, just watching it, this looks really quite nasty in terms of hidden reading. I mean, hidden specialist, I don't think I'm going to have too many problems reading these overlaps, but the perfect stacking is going to take some practice, you feel. It's a long
the
one
rhythm
as well.
There's a lot of switches between 1/3 and 1/4, as well as the fact that the rhythms aren't always consistent. We get into a little double section. I absolutely love the rhythm choice in this map.
Also, I remember quotes by Bubbleman a few days ago. This seems accessible. I'll just throw that one out there.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, it's OD 8.5. If you can play this with no problems, yeah, this is definitely an SS map. But the thing is, you have one try in the tournament setting with all of these maps, all of these patterns, sorry.
Oh, he actually said it about a buffed version, which was OD9. But yeah, we do have the...
I still don't take that back.
I don't think it would have hurt too much, but I don't think the accuracy is really the issue with this map. It's more about the reading the patterns. I don't think that would change that.
Getting into a little solo section here. See if your streams come in.
See if you remember these type of streams from a different map. Kind of reminds me of the BMX or BMX Project 8 map, I think in 2017 or 16, I believe.
It does, yeah. I was gonna say. The stacking in this changes a lot, but stays the same. As in, the snap between the notes, it might look like it's a double. No, it's just single tapping. It might look like it's single tapping. No, it's a double.
Yeah, it kind of reminds you of a mix of different Project 8 maps, just kind of mixed into one. Like, if you think about the way it overlaps, you think back to last year, last's map in, I think, round of 32.
Yeah, there was a pattern there. If anyone noticed that pattern there, the stream that doubled back on itself, that's very Through the Fire and Flames.
Yeah, the old Leisure map, that. Yeah, those overlaps, damn, okay. Much more of a traditional AR8, that. I quite like it.
Alright, and another beat by Devious Panda, but it is once again another collaboration between Devious Panda and Real Lazy. Devious Panda just likes collabing with people, and you know, getting collabs on is also pretty interesting to go about it, because this is a funky song, and I'm not sure if it would have happened if it was one of these maps mapping alone. It is Jazz is Red, and this is a, once again, hidden free, very rhythm focused. It is 160 BPM, just a lot of 1/4 rhythm here, into some 1/6, and just the snapping, the sliders. It kind of reminds you of quarterfinals no 1/6, I would say.
Except on some buff juice or something.
I was about to say, yeah, that might have taken a bit of steroids here.
A bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to come by. Come on, it's lockdown. We didn't go overboard here. You have a lot of 1/3, 1/4, just the snapping, the spacing here. Also a tech part, which you wouldn't really expect from a chess, so I'm not gonna lie.
Take up my dubstep and my jazz.
Yeah, I mean, slide and squoosh on chess. Who doesn't know that?
Yeah.
Ketchup and fries, no, it's jazz and dubstep.
It's like Skrillex with my Barry White.
I just want to also call out, this is AR 9.3. So if this looks like it's dense, then that's because it is.
Yeah, there's decent amount of density, I would definitely agree in there, but it could be a lot denser, let's be honest. This is...
It could always be AR8.
True, I mean, we could, but we didn't, thankfully.
I think that's a good choice, to be honest. That one looks crazy enough with those rhythms.
Alright, so I will hide in my bunker now, because I have a bad feeling that water is gonna come for me. So if you want to take over this map for a second, please do, thank you.
Okay, right.
Go for it, dude.
Alright, I think I'm in position, I close the blinds, I think Walt is not in front of my house, so we have Cortona Flash. For this one, it's a map by Talala, and it is the Hard Rock 1A map here with the comfortable aim. Definitely a lot more comfortable than last week, and yeah, it's 3 minutes 44 seconds, 206 BPM. It is about 7.14 stars on Hard Rock. Similar to Node 1, and you have some streams but mostly aim focus patterns. Also, it's another custom map, I didn't actually mention that.
Oh, it's not. The last one was a Mordred map, which was but it's fairly comfortable, but it had the little geometric shapes that make it, give it a bit more spice other than a pure aim map. This one's looking a bit more Route 1, but obviously with buff mechanics across the board. At least so far.
So what star rating is this? Looking at it, it looks like it's above 7.
It is definitely above 7. I think I remember 7.14-ish. I can actually take a quick look for a second. Cheating here on my cheat sheet. That's what it's called, cheat sheet.
Yes, man, why don't you just memorize everything for us?
Look.
Yeah, learn how to learn lines, man.
Okay, it's 7.09. It's 7.09.
Wow. Yeah, a tough hard rock map then.
Yeah, wait until you see the next one. It's gonna be an interesting roller coaster of emotions for a lot of people.
This looks a lot more consistent in difficulty than No Mod 1. It's quite an interesting parallel to No Mod 1, where you have the bigger jumps but the bigger circles for No Mod 1, but these are smaller and smaller, I suppose.
Yeah. It's also slightly higher BPM, so you can achieve kind of the same star rating or difficulty with just a bit lower spacing here.
Those patterns, the ones where they stop.
Yeah, I think I've actually gotten 3 strikes now from Wall, so I think it's over.
Oh yeah, you're not map pooling next weekend. Sorry, Grand Finals map pool is cancelled.
Yeah, thank you for Talna for this one. It actually was weird how this one came about. We just tried it out. It was pretty much uncharted territory for both of us, and he just delivered. It surprised me. We just tried experimenting. It worked, so we're like, yes, let's go for it.
Yep, settled, done.
Yeah, like sometimes
no more discussion needed.
Yeah, like sometimes you ask and you talk to mappers, they have the niche skill sets of like what they like to map. And then sometimes you get people who like to experiment, like Devious Panda or Photofnik. And then you just have Tala where you just try something and it works. You didn't really experiment, you just said, let's go for it.
That one miss though.
Skill with the ending choke.
Alright, this is an interesting map. It is a replay by Flask, which would make sense for the replay name here. He got tiebreakered twice.
Feels bad, man.
Oh
Yes.
man.
But this map is the CS6.8, I believe. I'm gonna have to lie here, but I think
5.2, yeah, it should be about 6.8.
6.81 or 15 or something like that. It is higher than CS6.5 as you would usually see. And this map star rating is actually 7.4, I believe, or 7.3 something, like really high.
Oh,
And this
really?
map, yes, this map has been giving us a lot of headaches. We actually had this map at CS 7.15 initially, and then it had 7.5 star rating, and it still felt too easy compared to the rest of the pool. This map, I don't know what's... This is so weird. This is the weirdest map I've ever really like encountered when it comes to star rating. We had a lot of playtesting focused on this one, and the map itself focuses on a bit of pattern aim and streams, and pretty much a mix of both, right? And the star rating just kind of goes through the roof.
Is it the spacing between the circles in the streams? Maybe.
Probably, yeah, it's probably
I don't know.
because
We could sit here and continue to brainstorm it, but
Yeah.
What's the point in that?
yeah, but
It's what it is.
essentially this map is, as you can see, pattern aim and burst mixed together, and by Spartan, a custom map, by the way. And I don't even know if this is a... No, it's not Himmerung, it's not a V2. I was about to say, it's a Spartan song, so I wasn't too sure, but it's Himmerung, it's fine. Only 3 strikes so far. Yes, you can see some... if you play Spartan maps, you would recognize some of these patterns and some of the angle choices he does. He has a very, I don't know, peculiar way of patterning stuff in a very visual way, which might make for a few more awkward angles, which I think fits well for a Hardrock 2.
Those lead-in patterns to that slider, the little wiggle in them. That's horrible. Why would you do that?
Yeah, this looks hard. I mean, the last small six-side hard rock we had was more of a standard map. And this one has some standard patterns, but it's got those awkward bits, as you mentioned. It looks quite nasty for a tournament map.
There's actually 2 angles, or 1 angle I believe that's gonna be changed slightly compared to the replay. It's a jump leading into a stream, which is a bit more awkward than intended. But otherwise, this is essentially what you see is what you get.
Can you like remove those wiggles as well? Please, for me?
For you, I mean, it really depends. How many banners have you bought?
Tenor?
That's 4
They're gonna
banners.
watch
I'll
anyone
take
else
it.
have to play it though. We can sit in our golden throne in the casting lounge bubble. Watch people struggle on this.
Oh yeah, I suppose that's true. That is, yeah, okay, don't change. I'm not going to buy any banners.
It's sadism. Yeah.
Should do anyway.
Alright, and it's another customer by Isamir D'Angelo. It's Yosei Taikoku. Alright, give me a second. Nikon Uchu Shisha no Yurikago. And this one's a alternate map mixed with a bit of 160 on hardware. And the beginning has a few timing changes, otherwise you can see some of the flow aim, but also a lot of sharp angles here, so snap aim as well. It's essentially a mix of both. And there's a respected amount of 1/6 streams in this one. And otherwise, what you see is what you get.
Something really to be tested on Hard Rock. Fast aim is something that is overlooked quite a lot, especially with the smaller circles. You have to be very precise. A lot of control over your aim. So this is a good addition, I think.
We actually went for CS 3.7 because it's just too hard otherwise.
Yeah, very fair, very fair.
But it is still around CS 5 point something or 4.9, so it's still smaller than you would usually expect anything in normal.
It's looking quite a bit more linear than like the no mod ult pick. That one was more about the awkward angles with the Jones and patterns. This one much more of a sort of linear one, so very different flow.
Yeah, you can definitely tell there's a few back and forths here and there. Even
There's a few.
patterns that look like they're shaped like 1-2s. You all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's a star there as well. Tick off your jump map bingo card on an alt pig.
It's time to play Spot the Pattern.
There's triangles there. Little ones.
This is going to be either one of the most banned or one of the lowest average scoring maps, I think, this round.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
gonna make that claim now.
I think I can see this one not being the most comfortable. I can see certain teams absolutely popping off on this, but I can also see teams really struggling to get combos together. Like I say, it's a skill set you don't see too much of outside of the late stages, which we're at now.
Hard Rock 3 and Hidden 3 usually end up being maps you would either see picked a lot by better teams who are really think they're definitely advantageous on the pick, or you mostly see banned by lower tier teams pick, or like just banned in general because they wouldn't pick it themselves. And I think, are there actually teams? Yeah, I can definitely see some teams not having solid formula liners for this type of map, I would say. So I
think at this
definitely
level, though, I mean, I think at this level with the 6 teams remaining, I don't think any of the teams are going to struggle too much in terms of getting a few rosters together, but the little differences might cause issues. I can still see teams dropping the ball, even at this stage on this, so I do see what you mean.
I'd be
nice
impressed
replay
if
by
we saw. I'd be impressed if we saw a 1 million on this.
Yeah. Because that would mean a really good accuracy as well to boot on this one, which is definitely hard. Well, yeah, that concludes the hard rock pool, and we're getting right into double time, which is gonna be a replay by Allometry, and it's a custom map by Nagi Hisakawa. It's gonna be Sui, Hoshi, Ori, Yume, Mirai, and it's gonna be generic Nomad 1. You see a lot of jumps, mostly comfortable jumps, and a few bursts here and there. It is 260-ish BPM after double time, around 7.2 star rating, I believe. After double time, and it's approaching 10.3. This one's a consistently difficult map throughout, focuses on A mostly, but has a few respectable short bursts, but otherwise it is A focused.
We're reaching the point where we're starting to throw DT on extra level diffs in terms of the standard DT map. Big mechanics requirement.
Yeah, but even if we're doing that, I can still see plenty of receipts happening by specific key players on some of the teams. I think most of the teams, if not all of them, have people who can definitely see this.
Yeah, I think at least every team has 4 players that could FC this. I mean, at the very least, I mean, if you've been playing for longer than about 3 or 4 years, you will have played something like this to gain rank. Style has kind of fallen out of favor just because it's far easier to gain rank now by playing maps that will easily give you rank. But this sort of thing used to be really common, so
This map has some big jump spikes in between its little kick slidery patterns, so specific sections to watch out for, I suppose, when this map gets played.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the Ki parts, which are mostly intense, where you definitely have to get your combo up and between the parts, and then hold your combo throughout the Ki and repeat that 3 times.
We saw the Ikanai borderline this week. To be fair, when I saw that map, I did feel like it might have been a little bit easy for the round. This will definitely look like a step up though, although the style is very similar. As you mentioned, I do expect teams to really have no issues dealing with this one. But against particular teams, you do have to be wary going into a map like this. Looking at likes of Australia and whatnot. Mapping to this might be a little bit scary, but we'll see.
Alright, and double time 2 is coming in, and it's gonna be the stamina pick, and what do you know? You wouldn't put another house slash map into the pool? You know, I had to laugh when I was hearing the discussion about this map in Maple feedback a week ago. I'm like, you guys aren't ready. We've had this map in the pool since at least 2 months. And it's a house slash map, a really old one. It's Zone Demystify Feast. And it is the Lunatic one, nerfed for the doubles to fit a little bit better on the weird wiggle parts. And otherwise, this has a lot of streams and decent amount of single taps in a row with very low spacing there. So a few doubles here, as you can see, they shouldn't be a problem. If you have troubles on the doubles and not on the longer bursts, I mean, you probably shouldn't play the map because it's really about long streams here. And this is 10 BPM higher, but the stream length hasn't increased that much because of the 10 BPM of difference.
So this hasn't been buffed in stamina?
No, it shouldn't. It didn't get buffed in stamina, I believe. It has mostly been adjusted. There were some really long single taps in a row, which we split up a bit in sliders, and we buffered all the 1/8 repeat sliders because they were unbuffed.
Okay.
And then we upped the OD by 1. It was OD 7 originally. Also, the ribbons got removed.
Yeah, the last DT2 was quite stream heavy, obviously a bit slower than this, but that one didn't really have the doubles and little triples in between them like this one did. This one seems to have a little bit more of a minor figure control element to it in between all those streams. It seems to fill a similar sort of spot though. Really intense on those stop-start burst patterns as well as the longer streams, although the spacing's low enough that it seems to be all about your tapping really, pretty much. Good to see you keeping the Toho count up for us. Good job, dude.
Right, and I'm really glad that this is one of the few pick maps.
Big stamina section near the end.
Yeah, it just... You don't really have that long of a streams because it is 10 DPM higher than last week's. It's 244, I believe, after DT. So yeah, that's definitely a bit more respectable there.
That's a full-bodied speed pick, that. A bit of everything in there as well. Bursts and longer streams and finger control to a small extent.
Oh, you want to talk speed? No, this is speed. This is banned, made dice. It's a last map which is ranked. Another picked map, thankfully, and one of the rare ranked maps in the pool. I think this is great. This is actually a map we found. It got ranked in September 24th. And we actually found the map before it got ranked and told Lars, hey, can you change the approach to 8.5? Thank you. And he just kind of got it ranked with that change. And I mean, thankfully we don't have to get any NAT checks because it is ranked. But yeah, this is the speed pick. 270 BPM, a lot of bursts all around. Not too long, but like just bursts throughout the entire map. And some players were actually surprised that this map. They didn't really know this map existed because it doesn't really have DT plays. And I think they will change because I think this is a great DT map.
Definitely looks speedy.
Looking super fast, but looking pretty comfortable in style for the DT players we're going to have at this stage. Looking at it so far. Plenty of 1-4 though throughout to contend with the speed. But so far, I think this is looking like one that's going to be quite comfy for a lot of people.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was picked pretty often.
How's a solo looking?
Those are consecutive triples.
Yeah. Lasse definitely knows how to map for people who really like speed, I think. I mean, I didn't discuss this with him, but I mean, if you just look at this map, you probably kind of know who this is targeted to, right? This had to have been on purpose.
Even more consecutive triples there. I mean, a 270, that does begin to take its toll a little bit. Those little sections, especially near the end of a map.
Funnily enough, I think most of these paths could actually be double tappable. I mean, but doable.
Someone double taps this on finals, man. Give
That is a
props
good
for that if
score.
they try that.
You're gonna get all the respect.
That is a
Alright.
really good score.
It is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the speed demon himself. But we're getting right into DT4, which is the thing control map. It's a custom map by Mirage and the replay by Bartek. It is Soundholic Existence, and this map is 233 BPM and just doubles, quads.
Oh,
doubles.
this looks super fun already.
This is great. I love Mirage. He's done a really good job here. And if you want your speedy thing control, this is it. You have 3 parts, which are mostly the focus of the difficulty, and then in the middle, in the parts between them, like this. This is essentially filler rhythm in terms of where you get combo. You can still get a bunch of 100s here, but when you get into the double parts right here, this is essentially where you will drop a few more 100s here and there.
Well, that length, by the way, is not quite accurate. It's not a 5-minute DT map. It'd be more like 3 minutes something, which is still quite long for a DT pick.
No, actually, the first minute didn't get mapped, so it's like it skips the first minute or so. I think first and a half.
So we've got about a 3-minute long map here.
It's about 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Okay,
Looking at this,
it's
I'm getting
doubles.
vibes of ZTS, but it's not a ZTS song in terms of the map. That's probably because it's Mirage, though. He's known for mapping that a lot.
I'm getting AG Queen Bee vibes. Not quite a consistently repeated pattern like it was in AG Queen Bee. It changes it up a lot.
Yeah, this is about 2 minutes and 50 something seconds. One entire minute didn't get mapped, so it's about 4 minutes and 10 seconds space, and then double time on top of that.
Yeah, really getting ZTS vibes in this map. All these doubles, triples, quads into those bursts.
It's honestly really surprising that this is Soundholic. It's not something I would have expected them to do, is play around with rhythm
No.
like this.
Yeah, I think I found this map when I was looking for, the song when I was looking through Taiko maps. Some people mapped this thing on Taiko. You wouldn't really expect, this is definitely something I didn't really hear from them at all. It was a really random find.
Good find, though. I'm actually quite liking the look
Oh,
of this.
brilliant find.
Looking like my sort of DT map anyway. IOD as well, going to cause some ACK issues. So, accuracy is going to be quite interesting on that one.
It has to be said, the other mode mappers really have some impeccable music taste sometimes.
Yeah. And speaking of cool music choices, it's gonna be Falcon Sound Team, and who else but Jonathan LFJ is gonna
come
map
on.
Falcon Sound Team. And this one's Seductive Shudder. It's, I think, a song from the Trails games?
Could I skip this one or something?
It's just, Alright. I know you might have PTSD, but we've already got that out of the way with the Nomad 3. Alright? Nomad 3 had a PTSD diff. But this one's, don't worry. I mean, it might remind you a little bit of the tiebreaker. I'm sorry. This 3 was just
This guy
perfect
putting Azure
timing.
up chair 3 in free mod.
Yeah,
Goodness
this
me.
That stream was actually perfect timing. Might have PTSD right about now, but otherwise, this 160 BPM, 164, it is CS4.5 approach to 8.3, and it focuses a lot of these streams and the pattern aim here. And then in the KI, it has, I guess, kind of an alternate style rhythm. Yes, you can see those space triangles here. It kind of feels a bit like an alternate map in the KI, but has some very inconsistent rhythm sometimes on purpose. So the guy playing on hidden definitely needs to learn the rhythm a little bit. Otherwise, yes, you can see a bunch of overlaps here and patterns to trip you up on hidden, but also just tough on harder.
The snappy alt section is going to be quite hard on hidden, like you mentioned, and the low approach rate. So those streams varying in spacing and changing like the note you start on as well. Things like that. Yeah, nasty on the low AR hidden. The small circle size as well. Brings out that aim requirement on some of these snappy little sections as well. Quite a lot of aim requirement for small circle size.
Yeah, that part right there was kind of the alternate part I was talking about. Also, these ending jumps here are 1/3. They're like 120 BPM, so you can single tap them if you have troubles with these 1/3 parts. 240 BPM single tap shouldn't be too hard. And we're gonna get right into 3-2, which is for Tovnik, and another map by him. This is a aim-focused pattern map with overlaps. Just take a gander at it. It is another custom map, if I didn't say that so already. And as you can see, a bunch of overlaps here. Should be easily learnable though. Like if you get the rhythm down and you play this map a few times, you should probably get it down. Other than that, if you have practiced this map, you should probably be okay with the entire map and only miss for the aim and some of the streams.
Alright, I'm back. Is the Falcon Sound team one over yet?
Yeah, it is. Welcome back.
This was a lot of fun playing it as a test player.
Love
idea.
Custom skin stuff.
Bowman
Every
has
time, Farto maps, man.
I mean, Bowman has played a lot of maps actually, played this at helping out a lot. Thank you for that, Bowman.
Pleasure.
I mean, I definitely like the end product here. I definitely think Tovnik has done a great job here.
Yeah, there's so many perfect stacks in this, and there's a lot of accelerating jumps, I suppose is the only way you can describe them.
Yeah, funnily enough, this map kind of started out as a brainstorming session, of which the exact same brainstorming session, I believe, Hidden 1 in round of 16 came about. And we actually took Happy Time Bar over an eye from last year as a inspiration for this one. It didn't end up quite as similar, but you can maybe see a few similarities.
Here and there, yeah. Very, very well structured. There's a lot to unpack from this.
I can kind of see what you're going for with the Happy Time influences, with like those overlapping sliders. We're seeing a lot of those. Some of the angles on the jumps as well. I can kind of see it, but like me seeing this map for the first time, it does feel quite a bit different. But I imagine in terms of feel, it's gonna be kind of similar to play. The AR's at least a bit higher than some of the AR9 stuff we saw on like the higher diffs of Happy Time. But I can see what you were going for, but I think it's come out to be its own thing by the end. From just looking at it anyway, it might be different.
Yeah, I definitely agree with your assessment there. And you know what? You might be inspired by something, but it could end up as its own thing, and
Yeah.
I think that's not a problem at all. I think this is great.
No, it's come out quite nice. I'm liking the look of it. A tricky aim map with those streams as well. Going to be an issue for the hidden players. quite spaced for the Hard Rock players. I can see this one being quite popular though. I can see it being a comfy pick for many teams at this level. They have the mod players to cover that, so expecting to see that a lot.
Definitely. We're getting into Free Mod 3, which is an Amazoran map into
Oof, another one.
Infernus, the Sowing Tier. And this is a map. This is also a song. Vowel, do you want to take it away? It got buffed, by the way, since the last time you looked at it.
It did. I played it this morning. I made sure that it wasn't over buffed, and nope, I don't think it's over buffed at all. I think it's just about right. Loads of sliders to begin. Kind of what new Mazarin style, even with all of these sliders and slider ticks, and then it gets into anti-aim and awkward movement. It's approach rate 9.2 as well, so it's not going to be a cakewalk on hidden.
You get right into the slider part here. This has also been a bit of an experiment to like try and make something different, really. Focuses on the slider aim, but to make it not too hard for Hard Rock has been quite a challenge, I have to admit.
The ISV looks really high.
There's a couple
It's
of
stickless though, but
couple of 1/6s on there as well. Now those sliders, they're not actually as difficult as you would expect seeing them on Hard Rock.
Yeah, this has actually been pretty interesting. I've taken a look at a lot of in progress for this, and it looks so hard. And you try playing it on Hard Rock and you're like, wait, I can actually play this. What?
Yeah, it looks deceptively difficult, but once you play it, once you give it a try, it's really not as bad as you would think.
Yeah, and while I would like to take credit, I think this is all on Mazarin being able to make it properly playable for Hard Rock here.
He has done such a good job at making this, yeah. I think it's going to even be harder on Hidden than it is on Hard Rock. This section here is going to be incredibly tough to follow. It's approach rate 9.2.
And a respectable OD.
those are tricky rhythms with the stop-start, especially stacked. You misread that and miss.
Yeah. If you didn't like Free Mod 3 last round, Decisive Battle, you're probably not going to like this. But if you did, you're probably going to love this. It's different enough to be comparable but still be its own thing. And it's I would even wager it's around the same difficulty. Make sure you're holding those reverse sliders as well.
It's not a Mazarin map without a few streams here and there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the aim requirement in comparison to Decisive Battle, that one I had a similar sort of aim requirement to this, I suppose. And some of the spacing on this is kind of low, but it's more about dealing with those sliders. Many of them have ticks in, so don't be too lazy on a few of those.
Unfortunately, a slider break play, but thank you for the replay. And we're getting right into the tiebreaker by Jonathan LFJ and Captain, another collaboration. It is Ezreal. Reason it's French, right? I can't. It's something. It's this is a map, all right. This is, you see circles and you see a tiebreaker essentially. 5 minute long, hard, just general map.
Oh wow, it's 7.45 stars.
Exactly, and one.
That's a lot of stars.
That out of all the stars I've ever seen, those are definitely some stars.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this map focuses on the 230 BPM jumps and a few shorter bursts and a few shorter 1/3 sections. Has I believe three key eyes, and which mostly the difficulty is centered around, but it's difficult enough in the other parts to make you break across the map. It's just generally a hard map, and I think the song is fitting as well for a tiebreaker stage. And this is the I should say the next step of the tiebreaker ladder. Just one more to go.
tell we're getting to late game now, when the tiebreakers start becoming higher BPM.
Yeah, definitely. When there's almost no other place to go with a tiebreaker than just making it faster.
Oh, there's a different way to go. We'll see where that goes for next week.
Right.
There's a lot of different...
Fours, right. A different way to go. I would hope it's a different way to go from the last 2 years as well, or else...
do trust
we're going to be
me.
having some words.
I think you will regret not playing Grand Finals.
But,
I mean, obviously, that's a no-brainer, but... I think this is the year of a great one, but we'll see. There's different ways to go.
That's what they always say.
Look, alright, fun fact, this song was actually in contention for finals tiebreaker for Jonathan LFJ, and the Grand Finals tiebreaker of last year, which was Jonathan LFJ, actually was planned for finals initially, but we had to move it up one stage and then fill out the final spot. And this one was next to the tiebreaker that actually was put in for last year. This was actually the second choice of a song, and well, it's in for this year now.
Of course, you'd be mesmerised by all the big jumps that we've been seeing in tiebreakers so far, but there's quite a few little 1/3, little bursts, little streams, and minor finger control elements as well thrown in, so starting to see quite a bit of, well, a little bit of gimmickry in this, I suppose, in between the 7.4 star mechanics. If you haven't seen them in the last few, I saw some on the AIM last week. It was mostly standard mechanics fare. This is starting to branch out now.
Yeah, I also do have to admit that on some accords, I had to shift my focus on just investing my time in specific skill sets or aspects of the pool, and I have to admit that I didn't really put too much time into stuff like the tiebreaker choices. That was just essentially what the map was one of the first choices, and this is so it's all up to the mapper if the tiebreaker choice was really good, because I didn't bet it too hard because there's other stuff to look at properly. And so I think tiebreaker were definitely potentially one of the weaker aspects of the tournament, but I think I'm pretty happy how most of the tiebreaks actually ended out.
I mean, we need to give the reins to Jonathan LFJ to handle that. I mean, it's a safe pair of hands. He knows what he's doing in this. He's done it many times.
I mean, he's done it this tournament with Captain, and you know, this is another collaboration with Captain, so this is a deja vu all over again. I have this gut feeling that we might, because this year's OMC is a bit weirder than last year in terms of when the tiebreaks are being played. Usually it was pretty consistent across the years, but this year is a bit different. So we have actually never seen, or we didn't see a single tiebreaker in the last 2 years on final stage. Can we actually see a finals tiebreaker?
I'm gonna wager that in fact, maybe even both the losers bracket matches could go to tiebreaker very, very easily.
I never want to jinx it, but I mean, the way this tournament's gone so far, I mean, I think all bets are off, honestly. You just don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see both of those losers bracket matches go close, so hey, we could see this one. There's a good chance of it.
And you know what? I'm going to throw out there. I wouldn't be surprised to see USA and Canada go to tiebreaker.
That is a statement.
We'll see, man. And there we go.
Thank you for the replay, cool. Merrick. And as we kind of conclude the last spinner of the map, I think that also concludes the showcase for this weekend. It's the second to last. There's one more to go next week, but there are still 2 weeks of matches left in the tournament. And man, it's definitely been a ride for the entire tournament, I have to admit. A lot of hype matches and a lot of stressful moments, but in the end, we're nearing the last few stages of the tournament.
big leagues now.
It
Six
really is.
teams left, man. 6 teams left. Of course, in the losers bracket, Japan will take on Brazil next week. Brazil, after looking so impressive this weekend, go up against the Japan team in form. And then, of course, Germany will take on Australia to complete the losers bracket for next week. And then, last but not least, USA take on Canada in the winners' final. All 3 of those matches, dude, you gotta be there. You're missing one of them, you're missing out.
Yeah, and I think that is it from us this week. We're gonna look forward to seeing you guys come back for the next week of matches and the showcase. And I think we'll sign off for now. Goodbye, guys.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Drop it.
Thank you.